What is happening, YouTube? So, Ty Lue did an interview with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, I believe, or it was an All the Smoke podcast. And Ty Lue, he made a really bold quote, and he pretty much approached to Kawhi and Paul George, like privately, of course, saying that they need to take a more different approach to the regular season, and basically said got to take it more seriously and reminded them that do not wait for the playoffs. Just go hard every single game. And while I like the quote and while I like the intention of it, which because every games matters, and yes, regular season doesn't matter 100%, but it kind of does, higher your standards basically, and it kind of like when the playoff starts, it kind of like negate a lots of the potential flaws that you're gonna make, and pretty much you would make less mistakes and all that. But in my opinion, I think Ty Lue himself needs to take every single game more seriously as well too. Um, in my opinion, for last season, the 22 and 23 season, I don't think Tyronn Lue did a good job in coaching, in my opinion. I think Tyronn Lue, he was too much stuck in his ways. He doesn't make rotational adjustments. And Ty Lue, you got to start making different changes as well too, man. You cannot just always say, "Oh, hey, Kawhi and Paul George carry me to take the W," because yeah, Kawhi and Paul George not playing is a huge blow, but I feel like a lot of the games could have been won if Tyronn Lue made better rotations. One of the major things that I want Tyronn Lue to do is start playing the young kids, man. Start getting Brandon Boston Jr. on the court. Start getting Moussa Diabate on the court, man. Start getting um, that, and also increase the minutes of Terrence Mann, bruh. Come on now, three guys: Terrence Mann, Brandon Boston, Moussa Diabate. I'm actually impressed that he actually did okay with Bones Highland. He played Bones Highland a respectable amount of minutes, but you got to play the other two guys, man. Um, you know, I know sometimes it might be a little bit hard to kind of fit them in, but switch the rotations up, man. Like, don't always be like stick with the same rotations like all 82 games. Like, have like a little like a set pattern. Like five games you kind of play the veterans more than the other games. Or basically, or if things are not working, if the veteran, let's just say Norman Powell, or Batum has a stinker game, um, or Mason Plumlee has a bad game, kind of yank him out, man, and then get Brandon Boston some runs, bro. Get Brandon some runs, get Diabate some runs, because you would get better defense, and then you also would get a momentum shift, and you would get a lot more energy. Because I watch like almost 82 games since like I want to say 2019, and especially this year and last year and the year before, when I see guys like Brandon Boston and Moussa Diabate get on the floor, I could sense that energy. I could sense that hunger in them. You gotta start getting those guys in, Ty Lue. Um, yeah, like I said, Kawhi and Paul George not playing is a blow, but it also stems on you, Ty Lue, because I don't think you're using the roster to the best of the ability. You gotta stop playing too much Marcus Morris, man. You're literally playing this guy 30 to 40 minutes the whole entire game. Marcus Morris took an incredibly fat regression, and I want to see Marcus Morris succeed because um, 2021 Marcus Morris, he was solid. He could get you buckets. His defense was still kind of cheeks, but not as this bad. But at least he could get you buckets. But it's time to move him on the bench, Ty Lue. You also got to start starting Robert Covington. Or if you want to go small, that's fine. Just do a lineup of Russell Westbrook, Terrence Mann, Paul George, Kawhi, and then Zubac at the center. You could do that if you do not want to go small. But honestly, the best way would always be Russ, Paul George, Kawhi, Robert Covington, and Zubac. And then on the bench unit, I know it's going to be a little complicated. Bones Highland. It's hard to kind of squeeze Brandon Boston in, so kind of like do a little kind of like a routine switch or something like that. Like some days you could just use Norman Powell as a 6 man. Some games you just sit Norman Powell out and you get Brandon Boston his minutes, man, because Brandon, he needs minutes, bro. He needs minutes. And honestly, I think the Clippers should find a way to move Norman Powell if I were the front office, in my opinion, because Brandon, in my opinion, is a better 6 man than like when you get Brandon the minutes, you're gonna see what I'm talking about. And if you don't believe that Brandon's going to be good, if he was given a huge amount of minutes, just look at him when he played against the Milwaukee Bucks. Dude dropped 20 points efficiently against one of the best defensive teams. Like, you gotta give him minutes, man. And I would be more than happy to make a consolidation trade, like flip Norman Powell for a future first round pick, man, because it could use some draft capital. And then imagine if a bench of Bones Highland, Brandon Boston, Terrence Mann, um, and then I guess you could say Nico Batum, or heck, go young, Kobe Brown, and then center, could be Plumlee, or some days, like I said, even with a center position, sometimes have Plumlee be the backup big, or some other games, just give it to Diabate, man. Diabate, I cannot stress to y'all how much this guy would have helped us in so many situations. Like, I seen us, getting cooked in the pick and roll at times, man, just driving to the basket easily because, some players are so fast. And then, guys like Zubac, he's good, but sometimes, we don't have a power forward to kind of protect the center. So, a guy like Diabate, he is so quick. Dude could switch like lightning. Like, he could go from one guy to another, and he would still be in front of the opponents. And dude plays the defense, and you get rebounded. So, Tyronn Lue, it stems in you as well, too. You got to start making them changes, man. And it's always the Clippers' problem, man. They just do not play the young kids. You got to get them on the floor. You got to get Brandon Boston on the floor. You got to get Musa Diabate on the floor. You got to play Robert Covington. I know Robert Covington's not a young guy, but Robert Covington, he doesn't really make any mistakes. You got to play those three guys, man. And also, keep what you're doing with Bones. Play him this, the main backup minutes to Russ. I love that. And honestly, Batum is up in age. Play Kobe Brown some minutes, man, because Kobe Brown, he came a long way. He grew on me. He could be a solid player. He's no G.G. Jackson. I still think G.G. Jackson was the pick for pick 30. But, Kobe Brown could be okay, too. He could get rebounds. Heck, he can shoot the ball. He's strong inside the paint. So, Ty Lue, that's what I need to see you do, man. You got to start playing the young players, bro. But hey, that's good that you're trying to set the tone for the Clippers to take the regular season seriously. But in my opinion, it also comes with your coaching, Tyronn Lue. 2021 to 2022 regular season, it wasn't so bad. At least he played Isaiah Hartenstein. And he even tried a big front court, Isaiah Hartenstein and Serge Ibaka. Maybe start playing Diabate minutes, Ty Lue. Come on, man. But anyways, what do you think about this quote? And do you agree with what I said? You think Tyronn Lue definitely needs to get Brandon Boston Jr. and Musa Diabate minutes? Or you think, oh, they're not quote unquote ready and all that, and you know, Tyronn Lue's rotation is all good, and it's just, oh, Kawhi and Paul George needs to get healthy. And also, what you think about Robert Covington getting so many DNPs? I'm sure everybody loves Robert Covington, so I'm sure we can all agree here. But, and also, another thing, what do you think about Kobe Brown? Should he get some minutes too? Should it be a power forward depth of Rocco being a starter and Kobe Brown being off the bench for the power forward? Or you think Nico Batum should still get the minutes over Kobe Brown? Because in my opinion, I think Batum is, he still could be solid, but I could kind of see his regression as well too. He's a little bit on the older side, but at the same time, his defense is still respectable, and he does have a pretty solid IQ. But I just feel that it's time the Clippers should kind of try to favor into maybe giving Kobe Brown some of the chances to play. But anyways, that should end the video for tonight. Let me know what you think down in below in the comments, and peace.